we can use this?
Application, it's like database layer, application layer.
No, because that is common, right? Even for a small web application also will maintain that layers.
Up to the load balancer, I see it is the common thing.
Okay, I'll quickly explaining this on even. Okay, so it will be clear for you. Let us say we are having two clients. Okay, client 1 and client 2 hitting to some domain name, that is icsa.com or something. When they are hitting to that, where the request will be going first of all? I'm sorry? When we are hitting any URL, where the request will go first?
It should go to the load balancer.
No, because if I'm hitting icsabank.com, how load balancer, all this stuff it will know. Because load balancer is there in your company data center, but how my request knows that I need to go to your data center for that?
Okay, in this picture you have put domain controller. So what exactly is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm coming off. Hari, do you have any idea? Because when you are hitting not only any site, any website, any URL, when you are trying that.
Yeah, it is like DNS.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
So okay, I'll be explaining you. It is nothing but whatever the URL you are typing, so it will be going inside your domain controller that is maintained by internet data center, that is World Wide Web. So your domain needs to get registered inside the domain URL. Okay, whatever the request, that is called ISPs, also will call as internet service providers.
Okay. Active Directory.
No, Active Directory is entirely different of LDAP. Okay, you are coming inside the application, but we are outside the environment itself. Okay. Yeah. So when particular request is hitting all your any website, any internet facing website, it will go to domain controller. So whatever the domain name you are checking, it will verify that domain name, whether it is registered or not. Once it confirms like it is registered, there we will be providing our exact routing path in the ISP domain controller. Okay, from there the request will pass through, will come to our load balancer, hardware load balancer. Okay, before coming to hardware load balancer, we'll maintain firewalls to make sure no unsecure protocols are not coming. Okay, once the request is passing via firewall, it will reach our hardware load balancer. What is the use of hardware load balancer? Which company hardware load balancer you are using? Can you explain about that part?
F5.
F5. Okay, what is the use of this?
It distributes your requests among web servers. That's your HTTP servers, I can say.
Okay, so what happens if I don't use that?
We can use, most of the people, with smaller application architecture may use software load balancer.
Okay. In your case, you are telling like you can use software load balancer. Okay. So in that scenario, if we don't have two web servers in that case, definitely only one should be there, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if that particular Apache is down, your entire architecture is down, correct?
Yes.
So definitely, even if you are building a large application or small application, better to maintain the same clustered environment prior also, because or else Apache also there is chances like it will shut down, or else it might be go down and we can't able to start. There are many scenarios. So all your entire architecture is going down for a single purpose. So what we will do is, if you are not using, if it is a small company, if they don't want that, what they will use directly from Big FI, they will hit to WebLogic. Okay, so there is no use of web server. Are you getting? Because in Big FI, I can configure different URLs, like manager server 1, 2, 3 URLs I can configure there. Big FI is nothing but a Cisco product. Okay, it is nothing but a hardware type of box you will be getting. So inside that box, you can configure all the settings. So you can give 3 or 4 URLs. You can configure that inside your Big FI. That is also called SADC URLs. So definitely Big FI is required. Web server, if you want, use it. If you don't want, remove it. Okay. Then hit into database. Okay. In this scenario, why people are using web server? If everyone able to hit to manager server directly, then what is the use for me to use web servers? Correct, because Big FI is only able to handle my load and it is doing load balancing. So what is the use for me? Any idea?
Is working like a proxy.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, web servers are working as a proxy, right?
Proxy in the sense, can you give me an example? What does proxy mean in your?
The request first reaches HTTP layer.
Correct. Why the request needs to hit HTTP layer? Because it can't able to serve anyhow.
No, that's where our static content, the page content will be displayed from web server.
Okay. The page content you can keep in the application server also. We have that option.
Yeah, but usually that might give more load if it is handling web HTTP content, static content as well. So
exactly. So yeah, this is one of the correct point. So why we are using this one is, all your static content, like Sunil told, all your static content, all the images, all the welcome pages, everything you can keep inside your web server, because everyone will try to reach that welcome pages or else index pages or else your images, all this stuff. If you are not keeping this, it is going to get from the application server. It does not matter. So what happens is the load might increase a bit more. Okay. So other than that, if you are using web server, there are multiple options you can integrate. When you are integrating WebGate, when you are integrating SSO, there mandatorily you need to use web servers in some of the applications. So prior to that, everyone will make a web server and make the static content, and they will use for communications, for security, because once the request is coming to Big FI, there will be one security layer, and from there the request will be coming to web server. In web server also you can maintain the security. From there the request will be transferred to manager server. Manager server also will maintain the security, SSL or something. Okay, but okay, this part is clear, right? Before going to security.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now I am coming about security. Okay. So coming to security, what type of security do you think? 5 minutes up. Okay. So security, what type of security do you think will be using between end user and the domain? You'll use some certificates, right?
SSL.
Yes.
Yeah, SSL certificate. It is a third-party certificates which will be getting the private key and public key and all this stuff. Okay, where that certificates will be installed generally?
Yeah, it will be installed in web server as well as in WebLogic server as. Correct?
Okay, that's correct. Okay, but there is a one more scenario also, which some companies will do. That is, you can directly create a certificate inside your Big FI. Okay, all the servers, all the applications, whoever using inside that Big FI, that certificate will be applicable. Okay, so because all the requests are passing through my FI only, So I need not bother. Once the request is secure inside BigF5, there are much, because it entered already entered in my data center. So there are very less chances like third-party users are going to enter inside this BigF5 and F5, BigF5 and web server and web server to managed servers. There are very less chances. Correct?
Yes.
So this is one scenario, but I'm talking about normal companies. Like if you are working with banking domain, they are secure in every angle. Okay, they will be securing BigFi level, they will be securing web server level, they will be securing web managed WebLogic server level. Okay, because I'm telling like 100% the user can't able to these cyber attacks might happen, but normal companies won't much bother about that because there are very less chances. Might be 99% it won't happen, but 0.1 chances is there. But even banking companies will not take that risk also, because everything is secure for them. Each transaction is important for them. Okay, from there it will hit to our database. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, Hari, from architecture level, do you have any doubts? Because this is what the architecture for any company, any application, is it small, even big, so this is what is going to happen.
Yeah, I had some little bit confusion at using a web server in front of managed servers.
Okay,
So
I'll be explaining again. Okay, so let us take, I'm having, my company is using some of the images, something around 500 images are there. Okay, these 500 images, if I'm not using web server, I need to copy them inside the application server. Is it okay? Okay, so whenever
okay.
I'm loading the page, the request is going to hit the application server and going to get that content.
Mm-hmm.
If the same thing I'm keeping in the web server, the request won't go up to application server, right? In web server itself, I'm going to get that values. If application server, web server can't able to handle that, that request will be passed to the application server. Correct, because some of the load you are able to reduce here.
Okay.
Is it clear? And one more scenario why we will use web server is, if you are integrating with some of the security like OAM and OAM, there you need to install web gates. Web gates only you can install to your HTTP server. Okay, most of the banking domains will use those web gates and all this stuff. So definitely all the banking domains, all the major domains will use that web server prior to this. First one is it will maintain the static content. Second one is it is easy to integrate with the security services. Okay, third one is again you can use one more load balancing mechanism. Getting right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, is it clear, or else you want me to repeat any part?
Yeah, it is clear.
Okay, if possible, just draw this diagram in your running notes or something.
Yeah, sure.
Let me know once you are done.
Yeah.
Okay, Hari, let me know once you are done.
I'm good now.
Okay, good. Okay. So this is what the architecture level. Now let's enter into the SOA part. Okay, what is the full form of SOA?
Service-oriented architecture.
Okay, good. Service-oriented architecture. What is the use of service-oriented architecture? First of all, what is a service? Any idea? What is service? What is the use of service-oriented architecture? Any idea?
No, Purna.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. So what is service-oriented architecture or SOA? Anyone can able to tell that? Sunil, you should be able to tell that, right? You're already
Yeah. Service is an individual component which can serve. I mean, it does a specific task.
okay.
So yeah.
What
So
happens if I'm not using service-oriented architecture? Because service-oriented architecture came only recent years only. Earlier we don't have this concept, but still we are able to serve the purpose.
okay. So this can it creates the reusability. Service-oriented architecture can creates a reusability
Yeah,
of
I agree that it is reusable, but I can make my application also reusable because I can deploy the same application anywhere, right?
yes.
What else do you think the SOA is coming popular? Because from last couple of years only, you might see from past 5 years only we are using this SOA. Earlier, no one knows SOA. Most of the companies will not use. Only I can tell like 5% of the companies will be using SOA because SOA is there 10 years back even. But still people started using from last 5 years or something. So what made people show interest in SOA? What is service-oriented architecture? Okay, I'll be explaining you. Okay, I'll be telling you one real-time example which will make you to understand. Okay, so you are going for an online website, correct? Once you are selecting something to you, selecting into the cart, what you are going to do? You just need to make the payment. Okay, so whatever the credit card you are entering, within fraction of seconds you are getting the response, correct?
Yes.
How it is coordinating, because sometimes you will use ICICI, sometimes SBA, sometimes HDFC, different bank credit cards, within fraction of seconds you are going to get the response. It is going to validate your credit card, it is going to see the whether you are over limit, it is going to check whether you are you have the balance, it is going to check whether you have valid customer, all the information whatever you entered correct, everything it is going to check in a fraction of seconds. How this is possible? Getting right?
Yeah.
So how this is happening? Okay, so here comes our web service. Okay, what ICICI Bank site will do is, for all the public users whoever using that site, it will provide one common web service visual service URL. Okay, whatever the request you are sending through that URL, ICICI will try to get that information and it will try to process that and it will send the information back to the user. Okay, for every bank will maintain separate visual service. Okay, that service is going to serve the purpose. What is this service, what is this visual, we are going to discuss, we are going to do practical on that, but you just understand the terms. Okay, so the service, it is going to have one visual file, and that visual file, whoever is sending, if I am providing my ICICI card details, the request is going to that visual file. So that visual file is going to, whatever the input we are sending to that, it is going to the ICICI domain and going to get the information and return back to the user. This is what is happening. Now you understood what is a service, a small role, how it is placed. Okay, so now I'll be coming to the second part of the service oriented. Okay, earlier also we are having applications which can serve all our purpose. What makes service oriented architecture so popular is the entire concept of service oriented architecture is don't build your application tightly coupled, make the application as loosely coupled. What does this mean? A single application is there. Single application in the sense you are creating a banking domain which you are providing the details, it is going to process something, new user is coming, a loan application is there for approval of loans and processing your loan application, your monthly payments, there are a lot of stuff. Okay, until earlier all this will be like a single application, they will design their own application, okay, and people will be started using that. Okay, let us say after a few years, if you want to change something, they can't able to make, because they need to redesign the application, because whatever the changes, even a small change also, it needs to go to the testing phase, UAT phase, every phase, then only it is going to touch our production. Okay, so even a small change also, it is going to pass all these tests. Okay, and if you are changing one small page also, you need to check all the flows, because from this page whatever flows you are missing, you don't know. So you are going to check all possible scenarios. That part is good. If the same company later on trying to design some other application, they can't able to take any of the modules separately, because that is all tightly coupled. If you take one JSP, there might be n different purposes or else n different ways the people are using the JSP. So if you copy that JSP, it will be useless, because all the integrated services you need to connect to that. Then only the application is going to work. Or else you need to change the code for entire thing, which is nothing but collapsing the building and building back again, which is double time it will be taking. Are you getting that? Is it clear, Hari?
Yeah, Espurna.
Okay. Okay. So what we are going to do is, what the current application scenarios is doing is, if a new customer is coming, okay, the name, application name, PAN, identification number, address, present address, past address, this is going to be a common, right? Let's not create an application, let's create a service, new customer, one service. This service is separately designed. Okay, so this particular service you can use any application, not only banking. If later on, if this company is going to use different application also, directly if you want, if a new customer is coming, anywhere the new customer won't change, might be one or two fields will change, but the entire things won't change. So if a new customer is coming, we'll take this service and we'll paste it there, that's it. Take this composite from there, copy it, deploy to the new application. All your customer new customer related composite is ready now. Okay, so in the same way for loan, a separate service. In the same way for banking, make it as a service oriented. So whatever the service, you can pick it and you can reuse them. Okay, because it is not tightly coupled. If you are changing something in one particular service, only that service you are going to change, and high level retesting, that's it. And one more thing is, let us take this new customer or else any of this thing already done by one company. Why you want to waste your time by doing the same composite again? let us take nowadays what Oracle is doing. It is already creating the applications and it is selling the applications to the clients. So let us take, if any new user loan application, they have already designed those modules and selling those services. I can directly purchase them and integrate inside my inside my application services, because my entire time is already saved, but within less cost I will get that composite from them. For them it is very profit. They have designed only one time, so they can sell to a number of people. Even for me, for creating from scratch, it is going to lot of time, lot of effort, and there are chances like failure. But this is a tested application which we are going to support from them, and which is 100% UAT passed application. We know that this is a good provider. Everything we are good at it. So we'll purchase the composite from them for the less cost, and you can use that composite right away. Is it clear?
Yeah.
A bit it's understandable, because we are going to discuss more and more on this only.
Yeah. Okay, bro.
Sunil, is that fine?
You said about individual components, right? Oracle will sell individual
Correct.
components. So I mean, like, how do we mention
the component? It's not individual services.
Services, right? How do we mention that? I mean, do they? We can see them in Oracle.com. I mean,
yeah, you can see that Oracle is already providing. Okay, I'll be explaining you more about that part. You can see that from Oracle site also, and not only Oracle, any publisher, any company can provide that. Okay, if I'm designing a small module, I can sell this to anyone, right? If you are a X company and you want designing the same module, I can sell this to you, because I am already tested, and if you're having any doubts or any issues with that composite, I'm ready to support to you.
Okay.
So you can purchase directly from me for the less cost. That is going to be one-time use for me, but it is going to be lesser cost for you, but both ways benefits. And again, if you are purchasing once, or else if you are designing one time, so the same composite you can use for different applications. If later on your organization is trying to design same application, you can directly use the same thing.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a high level view of service oriented architecture, all this stuff. Okay, so other than that, I can give one more example we'll discuss for your easily understandable. What I can take it. Okay, so let me take one. If you are going to some restaurant, okay, so what you are going to do, you are going to book one table and you are going to sit the table. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing is, you are going to order something. One person is going to take your order, and that particular order is going to the kitchen department. From kitchen department, it is serving back to your table. Once you are done, the same person is going to go to the cash counter and going to generate the bill. Once the payment is completed, you are going to finish your thing. So here, if you see that there are three services. One is a waiter, one is a kitchen department, one is a cashier department to maintain bills and all this stuff. Okay, if you design three separate services, you can reuse those services, or else you can integrate between these three. Are you getting right?
Yeah.
So automatically everything, once he from his tab, if he is selecting whatever the things, automatically the request is passing to the kitchen services. Kitchen service is going to get the input request from whatever the waiter is doing, that from his tab or from his laptop or from his mobile. Okay, immediately that service is, once he is ready, he will get a response back from the web service, like this particular order is ready. He won't be shouting, or else he won't be going to the kitchen for checking for every 5-10 minutes. Okay, once the order is ready, they will update that automatically. These people can see that, the waiter, then he will go and collect this. Once he is done, whatever things he is done, so automatically the request is going to the billing department, and it is going to generate the bill and waiter is going to send us. So here there are 3 services integrated automatically if you're seeing. Okay, so earlier if you are doing, it will be like a tightly integrated, a single application you can design. At that time also you can serve the purpose, but here I am dividing into bricks. So let us take, if I want to build a huge house, if I am already having the bricks, I can directly build my home. If I am having only sand, I need to make the bricks, then only I can build my home. But here the bricks are our services. If you are already able to get the services, you can directly purchase the services, or else you can reuse your services and you can build your home as quick as possible. If one critical application, if it is taking 3 years of time, the same application you can make it in 1 year, which is cost effective and which is reusable, and you have many benefits. Okay. Is it clear?
Yeah, yes, Bruno.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, today I'll be winding up soon because I'm having one other issue. I need to work on that today. Okay. So tomorrow I'll take a bit longer time.
Sure.
For today. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So any doubts in today's session? Do you have? Just we are going to discuss more. Don't expect. If you have any doubts, also just let me know. Okay. We'll be discussing more and more on this stuff only. Okay. So when we are designing the application, what is services, what is visual file, everything you will understand it slowly. Okay. So any doubts you want to ask for today?
Purna,
Yep.
it's regarding the environment again. So we'll start downloading those things for the Windows.
Tomorrow the first thing before starting class, I'll be showing you what all things you need to download.
Okay.
Okay.
And
so,
downloads, I think we can put now, right? Because what I'm trying
because
to say
it is not going to be one download. We will use 10 downloads. I'll be telling you around. So
Okay.
I need to explain one by one, and you need to note it down. So
Okay.
it will take some time. So I'll don't worry about that. I'll give enough time for everything.
Sure. Yeah, so far we had Linux related downloads. Now I think
That's what. I'll be telling you tomorrow what all downloads and what is the bit and everything. I'll be explaining you. So tomorrow, just remember me. First, I'll start with that. So I'll continue the class then after.
so tomorrow. And how long will it take for us to set up the environment?
Environment, everything, whatever I'm doing, you can do simultaneously. Might be 1 or 2 days delay. You can follow me with the same things. This is going to be first time. So from there onwards, it will be like a common. Whatever I'm doing, you can do simultaneously.
So
yeah.
I mean, this time we can try in Linux, or is it?
No, whatever I'll be showing you is Windows, because nothing is going to change. And if you have any doubts, I can do the same thing in Linux in 1 day.
Good, yeah, no problem. I was just asking.
Yeah, so because Linux or Windows, whatever we are working, it is completely unique.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, only the installation wise, you'll have some confusion. For that, if you have, we can, that's not a big difference. But all the remaining entire course, it does not make any difference. We will be using Enterprise Manager and Console, which is common in both Windows and Linux.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any other?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Purna.
Go ahead.
Earlier you explained one real-time example on SOA, right? But so can you repeat it? I'm not that much clear on that.
Yeah. Okay. Don't worry about that part. We'll discuss the same thing tomorrow again. Okay. I'll be explaining you that part tomorrow. Just remember me once tomorrow. I'll be explaining. Then we'll discuss. We'll start the class.
Okay.
Okay. So today I have some other issue. I need to work on that. Okay. So tomorrow, just remember me. We'll discuss that part again. Whatever I discussed today, I'll be repeating for the first few minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay then. Okay guys. Thanks for joining. We'll meet again same time tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.